Let's make sure. Hey guys, my name is Chris and this is my channel, just getting by in 2025, and I hope get this video out before I lose daylight, but kind of loud inside, and I see these car videos too going around. I thought maybe I'd do one, but I did it once already. It's 37 minutes, man. Amateur. I fucking push record and the video was facing the other way, so I recorded myself talking while you guys were looking outside my front window. Dumbass. So here I am trying to do it again, and I just hope it comes out as genuine as it was before. I mean, I got my heart in it. This is me. I mean, that's why I'm gonna do this topic, and it relates to me. And I'd rather die than to work a 9 to 5. Now, I agree with that in a certain aspect. Like if you're like one of those guys that are out there living in your mom's basement, your grandparents' house, whatever, mouth breather type of motherfuckers that are just plain lazy, you know. Those are the people that I don't agree with using that as a title. But like for me, I just don't agree with, you know, that saying, especially if you are really lazy, you know what I mean? But let's see. I've always hated that 9 to 5 aspect. Okay, getting out of school, right out of high school, I hated school in the first place, but I graduated. But I always felt like going to college or getting that job was just like the norm, you know, what your parents thought you should do, what the system thought you should do. It's just, that's, you know, the thing. And that just wasn't me, you know. I never ever wanted to confine to the system and know which way, whatever the freak word is, no way whatsoever. There you go. I never wanted to conform to that. I always wanted to, you know, my own path type deal. But like I said, I always felt like college and going straight to college or getting a job right after high school was the normal thing to do. You know, kind of play it safe type thing. And like that was like the only plan, you know, out there. And well, that shit didn't get me anywhere. Literally, I did it for 18 to I was about 35. So like 15 to 17 years I did that 9 to 5 shit. And it sucks. I mean, for one, I never got anywhere with the 9 to 5. I didn't have a college degree. So, again, I didn't want to conform to that. So, if I didn't have a college degree, I wasn't going to get a good job. So, I had to work, you know, that factory job crap. And so, that's what I started doing. I got a factory job. Yay, you know, whatever have you. But see, here's the thing. I've always had that entrepreneur type lifestyle in me. When I was a kid, I was like 15. I got my first job, and I was a dishwasher. I worked at a country club, and I washed dishes, and you know, that was my first real job. That, you know, taxes got taken out, and you know, that was the first job. I had little jobs on the side when I was younger, like delivered newspapers, mowed yards, snow come around, I'd shovel. I've always had that entrepreneur drive in me. My dad had his own business when You know, I only knew my dad for 2 years. You know, I met him and lived with him for almost 2 years, but during that time he had a construction business. So like it was like it's in my blood. I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't living with him very long, but it was just always in my blood. I seen my mom, she had ran a trailer park and an ice cream store. So to me, it was like she was the manager, she was the boss. So to me, it was like she had her own business. You understand the difference? So, you know, that entrepreneur stuff was in my blood. It always had been. And not only that, just working that 9 to 5 crap, I always would feel drained, angry, irritated, pissed off. I got red hair. I was already mad anyways and easily agitated. I was just dweeby little kid, you know. You know, people made fun of me, so I think that's why I developed my anger. Started as a child. I mean, I had other things that happened, which I might talk about in another video as a child, you know. But you know, those different things developed in my life, and so I got out of high school. I decided to start working in the factory. Yay, factory work, you know, like factory work ain't what it's all cut out to be. I mean, that's just total shit work. It was nonstop work, get up, go to work, you know, come home, go to sleep. I believe that's where my depression, and again, I guess I could say that's when I first noticed I had anger, because that first job they had paid for me to anger management. So I guess I wasn't that bad of a worker, I wouldn't say, because they wanted me to stay, so they put me through anger management. But I think that's when I first figured out as an adult that I had, you know, mental health problems. But I was working that 9 to 5 crap all the time, and it, like many people know, you never got anywhere with that 9 to 5 job. I mean, if there was promotions, it never happened within. It was always somebody brought in that had a college degree or something stupid. I mean, that may not pertain to a factory because that's where I was at, but I never seen anybody get promoted. It was always, you know, from within the line. It was always an older guy that had been working there, you know, like, I guess maybe there was some promotion within the line. But anyways, there would always be older men. You know, I was in my 20s, always older men that were my boss, telling me what to do, you know, always arrogant. Or I'd get some punk kid that was my age telling me what to do. I'm just like, oh, you know, fuck that shit. So it just really wasn't my thing. And by the end of the day, the end of the week especially, I'd feel drained. Like I said, I was always irritated, agitated. It just wasn't my thing, man. I wasn't going to do that the rest of my life. I always felt like I was meant for more. You know, it's not like I want to sound arrogant or anything, but, you know, I just always felt like I was meant for more. That's just the way I was built, I guess. I wanted to do more. I had this drive to start, you know, to be more independent and to, you know, work on my own, but I didn't know how to start my own business. So that mentality just grew and grew and grew and grew and grew. And I eventually turned that manifestation into reality. You know, I was manifesting it all these years, you know, doing those 9 to 5 jobs. I did a lot of different 9 to 5 jobs. I did construction work. I've done fast food, roofing, you know, mechanic work. I've, you know, stocked shelves at, you know, Walmarts. You know, there's this one job I used to do. I worked for RC Cola, and the semi truck, he'd come in and sorry, it's a nice day out today. It's starting to get dark out, but it's like 50 degrees, 45, something like that. It's really nice out. But anyways, one of the 9 to 5 jobs I had, I worked for RC Cola, and the semi guy would come in and he would drop off the load of pallets, and I'd come in and I'd break them down and I'd go stock the shelves. And that shit killed my back. It was shit pay. We're gonna go all the way back. My first job was factory job. All right, we're talking $7 an hour. This was 2000 a year. Talking $7 an hour, and on top of that, you're working, like I said, 70 hours a week. Those 9 to 5 jobs, even today, they're still not 9 to 5. It's more like a 7 to 7 type crap. Especially that job I was working. But in reality, it's like your 9 to 5 job. In reality, is like an 8 to 6, because you spend an hour in the morning getting ready, the commute, getting ready. Then after work, you spend another hour to get home, the commute, whatever have you. So, that 9 to 5 turns into a 9 to 6 job. On top of that, there's no lunch, or if you get a lunch, it's 30 minutes. That ain't even long enough to go home and, eat food and take a dab, man. Come on. Let alone, even leave the workplace. I mean, you'd be crazy to leave the workplace. But again, it goes back. I was working 60 hours a week, nonstop, depressed, angry, agitated, $7 an hour, $300 a week. You're trying to pay your rent, trying to pay your electric. Say back then, this was in 2000. When I first got out of school. I graduated in 2000. $300 a week isn't going to pay it. I'm talking, you got a $500 rent, you got your electric, which is $300, whatever. Then you got your gas, your cigarettes. I used to smoke cigarettes back then. I don't smoke cigarettes now. I quit. It's been 14 years. I quit when I was 30. All of the little things that you want to do. And I was tired of working my ass off for nothing. Literally. And like I'm saying, this was way back then, It sounds like a long time ago. Like I'm talking like I'm this old guy, but it was 20 years ago for me. So yeah, it was a long time ago. So, I've watched a lot of things progress over the years. So, that whole situation, where the older generation will say the younger generation, they're just lazy. It's not that they're lazy, because I can come from both sides of the table, because as I've watched things progress over the years, I know there's more easier ways and more enjoyable ways to make money. So I'm coming from both sides of the coin. So when the older generation says you guys are lazy and you don't want to work, it's not it. Y'all just know that there's more easier ways, more enjoyable ways to make that money, and you're a slave to the system. You don't have to confine to the norm. So I'm a middle-aged man, 44, gonna be 45 this year. I am coming from both sides of the table. I spent my entire 20s and half of my 30s trying to figure out how to start my own business. So if you have the opportunity to do so and you're in your 20s, start working on it now. You get a tax check, or you get some money, you get a settlement, and you get a large sum of money, or just start saving up money, start working towards your own business. You're going to fail a lot, and that doesn't matter. That's all part of the learning process. You're going to fail probably a lot. I've had several endeavors over the years, and I've failed at quite a few of them, but I currently have 2 that I do now, and they're good sources of income, and I make my schedule. I don't have to worry about anyone telling me what to do. I haven't worked a 9 to 5 since 2015. That is going on 9 years this year. Oh, wait, I want to go back real quick and tell you a story about my first real job. I'm going to go back telling you, I'm starting at 8 years since I haven't worked 9 to 5. But I want to go back and tell you a quick story. It just came to me real quick. My first job, I worked at a country club. I don't know if I said that yet or not, but my first job was a country club, and I was a dishwasher. Yes, I did say that. But anyways, how I got to that job was I me and my mom were at a yard sale, and I found this little, it was called a skate bike. It was like a unicycle. I hope you guys can still see me because I know it's getting dark out. All right, yes. But anyways, it was it was called a skate bike, but it was a lot like a unicycle. It had no handlebars. It just had a seat and a regular bicycle, and then the front had like an arm that come out, and at the bottom of it was two little skateboard wheels. And I don't know, I was just a weird kid. I liked dirt bikes, motorcycles. I don't know, I was just a weird freaking kid. I liked weird shit. And I don't know, my mom, I just had to have it. So I got the damn skate bike, and that skate bike is how I got to that job. And listen, I lived 3 miles down. It was a straight shot. I lived out in the country in the same town that I live in now. But I lived 3 miles out, and my job was in between there. It was at a country club. I lived on a straight shot. It was a highway, but you go about 3 miles out, and then you turn right onto a little country road, and I'm about half a mile down there. But anyways, it's a basic straight shot down the highway. Halfway in between was my work. I would ride that I would ride that fucking skate bike. See, I'm trying to avoid having to do this editing shit because I don't want to edit out, and because I know YouTube can be kind of touchy about their cursing and stuff, but I don't know. But anyways, I would ride that getting all tongue twisted. I would ride that damn skate bike all the way to my job, and I'd ride it to town. You know, this kind of sounds like, you know, the stories you'd hear from your grandpa saying, oh, I used to walk 6 feet in the snow to get to school. You know, if there's a will, there's a way. Yeah, well, that's kind of what it's like. But I'm being honest, dead honest. I used to ride that skate bike to get my ass to work at 15 years old. That was my first job, my first real job that taxes got taken out. 15 years old. Back then, you could get what was called a worker's permit. And you could even get out of school sometime. Most time I would work after school. Country club would be banging after that, and I'd be bussing dishes. So I'd work, I think mainly like 6 to 9 or 10. I can't remember. It was almost 20 years ago. But I would ride that freaking bike everywhere, man, just to get where I had to go. Like I said, I was 15 years old. I didn't have a car. I had to do what I had to do. Why did you get a bicycle? I don't know. Again, I told you, I was a weird kid. It was weird. I liked that thing. I got a kick out of it, and I just kept on riding the shit out of it. So I worked that job for like a year and a half till they sold it. The old man's name was Charlie. That place has been changed hands many times, and just here recently, and now it's not even a country club no more. They still got the golf course, but now they turned it into an insurance agency, because I was going to go take my kids out there sledding this year, and they said the course is closed, and I'm like, what the fuck? Anyways, it's a place where I used to sled when I was a kid. You know, I wanted to go take my kids out there to sled. I think if it snows again, I'm going to go out there and I don't care. I want my kids to sled where I sled. Okay? But anyways, I worked that job for a year and a half, and that was pretty much it for my high school endeavor. Once I graduated and I'm going back to that factory job, yay, factory job. And that's, you know, when I got a taste of the real 9-to-5 life. And like I said, depression, anger, irritability, working my ass off, not getting nowhere in life, no, nothing. Fuck that. Why you want to do that? So back to how I started my own business. I did that, working that 9-to-5 from 18 till I was 35 when I first started my first business. So 18 years, 17 years doing the 9-to-5. The entire time, I'll go back to the part where I was talking about where I manifested. The entire time, always hating it, always saying I'm going to do something. I'm meant for more than, you know, I'm going to do something. I always manifested, like, I'd be sitting in the parking lot, you know, or driving, and somebody with a nice car drive by. I'm like, I'm going to have that one day. You know, I manifested all that. Like, I mean, look, sitting in a Challenger right now. Okay, so now I got a couple of muscle cars. I'm not trying to sound arrogant or whatever. I mean, I did get excited for a minute, but I'm not rich, okay? But I mean, this is not a new Challenger. It's a 2010. but it's paid off. I own it. It's got a Hemi. You know, I own several things. Everything I have, I own. I have the house right here. Well, I don't. I got like $4,000 left. $4,000 left on it till the house is mine. But I own my own business. I have a few different cars, 2 muscle cars. I got a couple campers. I got a boat. I mean, a lot of them are all projects. This is the only thing that's not a project is my Challenger. My muscle cars run and drive, but they're projects. I got 2 other campers. I got 3 campers, 4 altogether. 1 is a pop-up. I use it for my business. But that's how it begun with the whole 8 years. Sorry. My son was telling me, I guess it's dinner time. But I need to finish this up. Anyways, so I did that. I worked. I was going on and on about all the crap I own. See, I was getting ahead of myself. Who cares? Nobody cares about what I own. Anyways, but that was the purpose of me, you know, wanting to acquire all these. Like I said, I manifested all this over all the years saying, I'm going to own these things. I'm going to have this. I'm going to do that. Not, I want it. I said, I'm gonna. That's the key to it. Manifesting it and turning it into a reality. So anyways, my first business adventure was I bought a collection of like pallets. I did a video about it. You'd have to watch that video, but I bought pallets and it turned me into an addict, and I started selling stuff online, and an online addict. Okay. I've had my other addictions. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I've been there, done that, but it turned me into an addict of being able to resell. I started reselling stuff. And the next thing you know, I found a niche of, I think that's how you say the word. I found that niche, and I was selling Hot Wheels, like Matchbox cars, Hot Wheels, M2s, all that kind of crap. And I was selling them within a couple hours. Like I had my own Facebook group back then, Marketplace still, or like you can find a group for anything. But I had my own toy group, and I sold all those toys. And like, you know, when I got a taste of how much money I could make on my own, that right there told me I'm never going back to the 9 to 5. Let me just give you a couple of examples of kind of the money that I've made. Just selling a toy car. I could do some claim sales on my page because I had, like I said, this took time to build up, but I had thousands of people on there. And I could, you know, tell people, hey, I'm going to do an auction tonight. I'm going to do a claim sale, whatever. And people would be there. And I could make $200 or $300 in a couple hours. Okay. And that's just like, wow. Okay. So that just manifested over time. And I started taking those toys and I started selling them at festival. I'm talking, I shit you not, $2,000 in one day selling toys to kids at a local festival I had here in town. $2,000. And I'm like, that just grew even more and manifested more within inside me that there's just too much easy money, and I can do all this on my time without anybody telling me when and how to do it. So being in that festival game for a few years, I met some friends and some different connections, and some of those people were food truck owners. And I see what kind of, they're making 3 times, 4 times, 5 times the money I would make selling toys. So I'm like, this is what I'm going to do. So I started working my way to making my own food truck. So I bought being able to build my own food truck, because I knew I'd never be able to afford a $20,000 one. And I mean, I'd save up enough money, but I want to do this now. So I started building one. I took a pop-up camper. I built it. I made a video on it. It's not that good because it was like, I just lost a lot of footage, but I made a video and I built my own food truck. And it's not really a food truck. It's a boba truck, because I didn't know. I do my due diligence on everything, but it depends on what county you're in. There's certain stipulations, but in order to do greasy foods in my county, I'd have to have a fire suppression system. I didn't have the money for all that. It was extra. So I was like, what am I going to do? So I just switched gears. I did a little pivot and I turned it into a drink truck. So I do boba tea, slushies, smoothies. But here's where the money game got even bigger. I'm talking, this is my 3rd season. I started in 2023. So yeah, this summer will be my 3rd season. But my first season, I can remember these numbers like they were yesterday, because like I said, it just sticks with me. And those are things that will, manifest in my mind and I turn it into reality. But we sold, it was, all right, so we sold, in 2 days at a festival, I sold, see, it's not just, boba tea. We do boba tea, smoothies, slushies, boba tea, slushies, smoothies, milk tea. Anyways, it was a hot summer day. 150 slushies. We made almost $600 just the slushies alone. 100, and it's like 140, 130 milk teas. And I can't remember everything else, but just it would have only been like boba tea or something. But I remember slushies and milk tea specifically. Milk teas were a hot item. They still are. Every summer milk tea sells good. Slushies do too. But 150 slushies, and that was like almost $600 alone. And then it was like 132, somewhere around 140 milk teas, and that was almost $800 alone. Totaled up to $1,400 in 2 days. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? And this was easy money again. Like I said, the madness continued. I had lots of festivals where I made that kind of money. So like I said, it just grew within inside me, knowing that there's all this money to be made out there, and all you gotta do is put your mind to it and get it done. Let's just get it done. There's no excuse for it. There really isn't. You got a brain, you got the mentality. I mean, those are hand in hand, brain and mentality, whatever. You got the will, get it done. There's no reason why no one should be out there slacking, not working, not making money, being a lazy bum. I got 2 other campers that I'm in the process of, I'm going to say I'm in the process of building, because I haven't even started yet, that I want to build. I got another pop-up camper, and I got like a 17-foot camper, and I'm going to turn those into food trucks, and it's going to grow. I just have plans. My brain, the wheels just keep turning. But eventually I want to move out of this. We're in Central Illinois, and during this time of the year, it's the hardest time of the year for me. So I had 2 viable businesses I actually make money from. I sell on eBay, and then I sell, the food truck. But right now I'm dependent on eBay, and kind of got burnt out on eBay. I've been doing it for years and years and years, way before the food truck thing. And I'm kind of getting burnt out on it, but that's what I got to rely on. And the sourcing aspect of it gets hard when it's cold out, because I source from yard sales and Goodwills. Goodwills are still pretty viable during this time of year, but not always. So it got harder. So, I mean, right now is the hardest time of year for me as a business owner, and I'm ready to move my ass where it's warmer, so that way I can run all year long. Because right now, at the end of the day, I got bills to pay. I got kids to take care of. I got a wife that, needs, help as well. I have a roof that I got to supply over my head and my family's head. And I'm not just going to sit there and let it all fold on top of me. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm perfect, I'm rich, because I'm not. Like I said, this is the worst time of the year for me. I'm literally struggling right now because of the weather. My electric bill's through the roof, and I'm really not getting any money. If I make money from eBay, it can be good, but it's little bits at a time. Like I made like $2,000 in 90 days at the 60 days. And that's not all at once. That got me through Christmas. That got us through Christmas. Literally, it did. That's what bought our Christmas. And I can't even do the electric bill right now. It's just, there's no possible way. I'm in a 2-story house. I got 2 furnaces, so it is crazy. I got to figure out something, because my electric bill runs through the roof. The gas and electric, gas is like $300 and electric's $400, or it's vice versa. Gas is more. But I mean, shit's just killing me right now. So, I mean, stuff like that makes me feel like, do I go back to a 9 to 5 just temporarily? Because there's the thing about the 9 to 5, that there is some stability that comes with that. It's a guaranteed check all the time. But man, I really don't want to put myself through that again. I don't. So that's why if I want my business to grow, I'm going to have to go somewhere where it can thrive, and it's not going to thrive here. So it is what it is. You guys like what I had to say, please like and subscribe, share this shit out of this for me, because this as well, platform is something that I'm hoping to get income from eventually. I'm not monetized yet. I just started. I've been talking about this YouTube shit when I first started my business ventures. I got videos all the way back then. It's too chicken shit. I never pulled the trigger and never put my videos on YouTube, and I'm kicking myself in my ass this year because I'm just like, imagine where I'd be at right now. How many subscribers. This could be a source of income right now, like what I want it to turn into now. So if I give you one piece of advice when it comes to that aspect of starting your dreams, or manifesting your dreams and then wanting to start it, just fucking do it. Don't listen to the naysayers. Don't, people are going to tell you, oh, don't do this, don't do that. It ain't going to make money. It might not. You might have to find your path on, throughout this entire thing. Like I said, I went through a lot of different endeavors before I figured out where I wanted to be. Maybe this food truck might not be. Like I said, I plan on growing it, and maybe I'll hire somebody to run it for me, and I'll go into something else. I'd like to have my hand in real estate. I'd like to have, I would like to buy, fix and flip type shit. There's just a lot of different things I'd like to do. Now, I'm still young, 44 is not that old. But then again, I know lots of people that's already passed away at my age. So I love life. I really do. And the options we have in America is just fucking awesome. No wonder so many foreigners want to come over here for that American dream. We really do have the American dream and the option to make it possible. You just got to do it. Really, you do. So, I don't know. I had to get in there. My dinner's done. It's been done for 10, 15 minutes. Now they probably done ate without me. But I appreciate you guys. I hope I pass on some motivation, because like I said, I'm coming from both sides of the coin here, the older and the younger generation. I worked that 9 to 5. I know what it's like. So I'm in the middle, how you got the older generation to say, you're just lazy. I understand that. But then again, I understand y'all know that there's easier money. So maybe that older generation is just stuck on the younger generation who they've just run into those mouth breathers, the ones that are lazy fucks that sit in their grandpa and grandma's basement. Maybe that's the older generation that's talking, the ones that got their grandson still living in their home, whatever have you. But I appreciate you guys. I love you, and stay tuned.